Lenny's father must have made this stair lift to help her get up and down the stairs. Must have taken him many hours. It's touching when you think about it. An old book? The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann? Funny. My grandparents left me a copy before they died when I was a kid. I should get around to reading it someday. Dormitories. I wonder how many people stop at the refuge these days. It must be a lot of work keeping this place going. Hats off to Demoiselle Lenny for managing all by herself. This must be Lenny's room. Not sure I'm allowed in here, really. Keep your servant also from willful sins. May they not rule over me. Then I will be blameless, innocent of great transgression. Sweet. She's still sitting there, watching. Wonder what she's thinking about. Pretty impressive. Obviously helps Lenny get up and about. Photos of the refuge. Looks like they're arranged by time period. There are no photos of the occupation of Vaughan by the brown shadow. I guess that corresponds to when Lenny and her father had to leave the refuge. These date from before the war. There's even one from the summer when Dana worked at the refuge. All these photos go up to the 80s, including my date of birth. This series ends at 2002, 3 years ago, when I began my journey with Oscar and Hans's train. It's cold in here. So that's the painting Dana told Lenny's father to buy. Not bad. And similar in style to my painting. Wonder what the others were like. There. But who could have left it open? Somebody's been smoking. A client, maybe? Unless Lenny likes to sneak a smoke. Austere. Looks like a storage room. Austere. Looks like a storage room. It must be a lot of work keeping this place going. Hats off to Demoiselle Lenny for managing all by herself. I guess there must be an access to the attic from the first floor. Dormitories. I wonder how many people stop at the refuge these days. Take-up reel, like the ones used on old cinema projectors. I must remember to ask Lenny about it. Don't want to break my neck, thank you very much. This must be Yunta's coffer, the one Lenny spoke about. take-up reel, like the ones used on old cinema projectors. Austere. Looks like a storage room. Lenny's father must have made this stair lift to help her get up and down the stairs. Must have taken him many hours. It's touching when you think about it. That must be the piano Dana played on the night she met Leon. The night Lenny told me about. Reminds me of Hans's automatons in Valladolid.
If this goes on, I'll end up reading my way through the entire bookcase.
The meager amount I've managed to save since I escaped from the mine. Olivia sent me a plane ticket for New York. What if... No, forget it. I should have a look at these locks I opened on the top of the coffer. An old book? The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann? Funny. My grandparents left me a copy before they died when I was a kid. I should get around to reading it someday. These date from before the war. There's even one from the summer when Dana worked at the refuge. There are no photos of the occupation of Vaughan by the Brown Shadow. I guess that corresponds to when Lenny and her father had to leave the refuge. All these photos go up to the 80s, including my date of birth. This series ends at 2002, 3 years ago, when I began my journey with Oscar and Hans's train.
Fraulein Laney will end up catching her death of cold if she stays out like that.
A mechanical stove. Seen better days. Another object with the look of the Vorarlberg workshop.
What now, Fräulein? I was just about to doze off.
Can you tell me about the resistance medal with your name on it?
Sure, I was in the Resistance. Not for those medals, though. Nothing but tin charms. You see, there's those who received medals, and those that were killed. And besides, they aren't gonna give me my legs back, are they?
No, but they prove you played a part in the liberation of your country.
Puh, nonsense. Nothing but bad memories. I'd rather not talk about it.
About Yunta's coffer.
What about it?
Where did the coffer in the loft come from?
In fact, Father made it himself during the long winter evenings. He wanted something more elegant and solid than the old family coffer where he kept the takings. So he made the one upstairs, thanks to the techniques he learnt when he worked in the Vorarlberg factory in Valladolid.
Valladolid in France?
That's right. The price Junta paid was equivalent to a month's worth of takings. Money well spent, though, because it was built like a mountain fortress.
You wouldn't happen to know the combination, would you?
I told you before, I don't know it.
I'll be going then. Impossible. No, I don't. There's a cap blocking the view. There must be a way of removing it. The bodies of the resistance fighters that the alpinist mentioned must be inside. Gives me the creeps just thinking about it. So that's what they call the Devil's Pass. Incredible. That's the fabled Silberspiegel. Oh, I wish I had... I've already taken a picture of that view. It's not the time to take the tram back. There's still a lot to do here. It looks like I can turn the discs on the top of the coffer to reconstruct the painting on it. It looks like I can turn the disc. That must be the piano Dana played on the night she met Leon. The night Lenny told me about. A mechanical stove. Seen better days. Another object with the look of the Vorarlberg workshop. Amazing! Now it shows the view from the terrace. I'll need a key to open it. Vaughan Refuge, 1937. Yunta's films, taken during the summer Dana worked here. This one says Lenny, director. So I guess Lenny did get to make her film after all. A film developing company. They probably developed Yunta's films and sent them back once they were done. No doubt Yunta must have written this. Summer 1937. The year Dana worked here. Let's see. I filled my last diary last night. Ordered another one, but still waiting for supplies to be delivered to the refuge. Using an old envelope in the meantime. Today invited Dana for a chat after her shift.
I'd like to know what Leon sees in her. I've never seen him so smitten. Thanks for popping up, Dana. How did the shift go?
Fine, same as usual.
Just finishing up here, then I'll make us a nice cup of tea.
Wow, that looks futuristic. What is it?
Ah, that little baby is my viewer. That's why it goes in the coffer.
What does it do?
I use it to put together and edit the rushes.
The what?
Rushes. In other words, the strips of unedited footage. I've finished today's selection, so be a dear and put it in the coffer, would you?
I would if I knew how.
Oh, just turn the key in the lock.
Did you take this picture?
Of course.
How did you and Leon get together? I mean, how did you...
We're just friends, if that's what you want to know.
How did you get to film them training?
Oh, it was a commission. Lucky, really. Right place, right time kind of thing. Of course, I jumped at the chance because it meant I could film Leon in action at last.
And Herr Hus, what's he doing with the Origin expedition?
Unfortunately, all scientific expeditions sponsored by the Brown Shadow come with a chaperone like him. There to make sure their funds are used as they see fit. In other words, that there is no divergence with regards to their ideology.
Herr Gustav's radio. Looks like he customized it, probably to compensate for the wave disturbance due to the mountains. That's a lot of equipment you have there. If you don't mind my asking, how do you manage to pay for it all?
Oh, that's easy. Especially when you know a few generous patrons of the arts, dear.
Did you take the photos of the athletes? You're not often lonely then.
Well, look at our sweet little waitress. Doesn't she have a saucy mind? It's called art, dear. My work aims to explore every facet of youth and the vitality of bodies.
I bet it does.
Hey, you little snoop. Where do you think you're going?
Just looking. I love your photos.
Ah, well, they each represent an element of mountain wildlife and flora I've photographed recently. I used them as a sort of checklist.
A checklist, huh? Junta's blank film, soon to become movies. All these newspaper clippings mention the Brown Shadow. According to Father, their influence is growing among the population. Now that I've had the misfortune of meeting Herr Hus here, I understand his concern. Junta's blank film, soon to become movies. The key Junta asked me to hide.
Dana, be a darling and put the key somewhere safe. You can't be too careful with these mountain people, especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
Where do you normally put it?
I have a little hiding place over there.
Is this where you want me to put the key?
Yes, there's a dear.
Junta's key should be safe in there. Junta's key should be safe in there.
Just need to finish preparing for the filming tomorrow, then we can chat away to our heart's content. If you could just fetch me a new roll of film from the darkroom, then we're done. Get away!
Junta's coffer key. Darn it. The end of Junta's notes. Impossible to know what happened next. But maybe I can figure out how to open the coffer from what I've read. Darn it. The end of Junta's notes. Impossible to know what happened next. But maybe I can figure out how to open the coffer from what I've read. According to Junta's notes, there was a room on the other side. I can't reach it anymore, but Dana could. Where can I find the combination for the mechanism?
Herr Gustav's radio. Looks like he customized it, probably to compensate for the wave disturbance due to the mountains.
Darn it. The end of Yunta's notes. Impossible to know what happened next. But maybe I can figure out how to open the coffer from what I... Better try something else. Interesting footage. Let's see what's on the other reel. I should rewind and remove the first reel before putting this one on. The screen is in the way. Lenny didn't say she filmed a fight between Dana and Leon. I'd better go back and see her to find out about it. Demoiselle Lenny, I saw the film you shot of Dana and Leon.
So Junta kept it. She got so cross when she discovered I'd rummaged through her stuff. She most certainly had secrets of her own, that one.
I know it was ages ago, but can you recall what happened between Dana and Leon that day?
You do like flogging a dead horse, don't you, Fraulein? But as you please. Since Junta never let me use her camera, I decided not to ask her anymore. Like that, she couldn't say no, could she? And that's when I heard them arguing.
How could you agree to this, Leon? How could you?
I told you I had no choice. The local guide for Baltayar can't do it anymore. He got injured.
There are plenty of other guides in Wagen. Why does it have to be you? Just tell them to find someone else.
Look, Dana, I didn't want to tell you, but...
But what?
Frank Huss, that brute from the other night. He's the one that made the call here. In other words, he's taking revenge by sending me to the other side of the world with the Origin expedition. And he said that if I refused, something might happen. Not just to me, but to you as well.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You're a Vigarian and so are your parents, right? Well, Huss says it won't be long before the Brown Shadow is in power, and he made it clear that something was brewing, and that you and your parents would be first on the list.
What list?
I don't know, but it can't be good. Then he said that other Vigarians would follow.
Dear God.
Dana, darling, the world's gone crazy. Promise me you'll be very careful. It will be all right if you just watch yourself and what you say. I've asked Junta to stand by you just in case. It won't be long, darling. Half a school year at the music academy. I'll be home for Christmas. Promise. Oh, come here now, my pretty Edelweiss.
Don't call me that. You know I don't like it.
It's true, though. That's exactly where you are, my pretty Edelweiss.
If you keep that up, Leon Kobatis, I'll find you a nickname too.
Go on then.
All right. I'll call you my mountain artist from now on.
You've got a flair for names, I see. I like it. Beautiful, isn't it? I could stay here forever.
There, Fraulein Walker. That is all I have to say. I hope this time you have what you need to continue on your journey.
Thank you, Demoiselle Lenny. But there is just one more thing. You mentioned a music academy? They must have ledgers and archives. Maybe I'll be able to find out whether Dana left an address there.
Well, it hasn't moved. It's still in Wagen. Go to the musicians' district. It's right next to the musical square. That's all I can tell you. So if you don't mind, Fraulein.
Thank you. Then that's where I'll continue my search.
Is it really worth your while to keep looking for Dana? Is it not just another pipe dream, Fraulein? I get the impression there have been others.
I prefer to look at it as a calling. Besides, I don't have much choice. Thanks to you, she's a part of me now.
As you wish. I hope you find what you are looking for.
Thank you. Again. I've got everything I need from here, I guess. Best get back to the guest house. Get some rest. I'll go to the music academy first thing in the morning. I found her, my sweet Katusha. The girl in the painting. Her name is Dana. Dana Rose.
That's nice, Kate. Real nice.
I'm gonna find out who she was, just like I promised you.
Nothing more than a good old adventure to forget your grief, I guess. You should go, Kate, or you're gonna miss the tram. There will always be a train for you.
Gosh, what a day. I hope Oscar's okay, wherever he is. I'm not abandoning him. I just need to find him. Closed. It's late. Frau Wagner must have gone to bed. Nothing relevant. The expedition mustn't have led to any major breakthrough, I guess. Junta. Demoiselle Lenny told me a lot about her. But was she some kind of spy? It's a shame that Demoiselle Lenny is so modest about having been a member of the Resistance. She's a true hero. No results about Dana. She probably never got famous. The more I discover about Dana, the more I get the feeling I'm only scratching the surface of Vaughan's history. Oh, but hey, let's call it a day. I really should go to bed now.
Is that you, Katie?
Yes, Mom! I mean, who else can it be? Looks like Mom's friends came over again last night. She's been seeing them a lot since what happened to Dad. Maybe too much. Another letter for Dad. Last time it took Mom days to find the strength to open it. Grandpa and Grandma from New York gave it to me for my last birthday. I really ought to read it, or at least dog-ear the pages so it looks like I did. Wow, I hope I get to travel around the world too when I grow up.
Oh, hello, Munchkin.
Hey, Mom. We haven't seen Grandpa and Grandma for a long time. Mom says they'll probably come over from New York on her birthday.
Is everything okay, Katie?
The piano that Mom ordered will soon be here. Couldn't bring myself to tell her that I wanted a drum kit instead. Mom bought those again. Mom bought those again. You forgot your music box.
Be careful with that, please, Munchkin.
Where'd this come from?
I already told you. Your grandma and grandpa gave it to me when I was little.
Doesn't look like it's from New York, though.
I don't know. Must have been in the family forever.
I just love it.
You've always liked it. Ever since you were little.
Will you give it to me when I'm big?
Maybe, if you're a good girl, when I get old.
So when will that be then?
Later, Katie.
But when?
In a very, very long time, I guess. When I'll be gone.
What the hell? You want me to call you, Olivia? Fine. I've survived worse criticism. I shouldn't put it off. I better call Olivia while I have the courage. Who do you think you are, Olivia Foster? It's easy to judge and lecture me from New York. You know nothing about what I've gone through, of what I've had to endure since leaving Hans. Don't know why I should be so nervous about making a simple phone call. I mean, hey, I've crossed Europe, been in all sorts of danger, and yet look at me here. I'm worrying about talking to my former best friend. Oh, and I think I used to spend my life on the phone gossiping with her. So what do I risk? Criticism? The one who missed her mother's funeral because she was breaking rocks at the bottom of a mine. In any case, Olivia hasn't stopped criticizing me ever since I left Valladolid on Hans Vorarlberg's train. I'm the one who should be criticizing her. I mean, come on. Isn't she the one who took advantage of my absence to get her hooks into Dan? Now look at me, mulling over old grudges. That's exactly what I wanted to escape from when I decided to go with Hans in his train to Syberia. And then there was the departure with the Yukon tribe, their seasonal migration. Come on, Kate, for Christ's sake, stop procrastinating. Just make the darn call and get it over with.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Canton, is that you? Who's there, please?
Olivia, it's me, Kate.
Kate? Gee, it's so weird to hear your voice after all these years.
Got your letter, Olivia.
Kate, I sent it 2 years ago.
I know. Things have been complicated.
Complicated. I see. And so when are you coming back to New York? To visit your mother's grave?
You know I can't come back, Olivia. I'm still wanted by the police over the sale of the Vorarlberg factory.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, believe me. If only you knew how much the accusations hurt your mother. Visits from the police, the requisitions, and just when she was diagnosed, too. And yet the poor woman never stopped hoping that her daughter would come back one day. Or at least call to help her in her final days.
I'm calling precisely because I do care. It's just that ever since Katyusha's death and escaping from the mine, well, things have been, complicated. And then there's the woman in the painting, Dana.
What are you talking about, Kate? Just listen to yourself. None of what you're saying makes any sense.
Olivia, please.
Kate, Okay, listen to me. I thought you had plenty of time to think about how you abandoned all of us. Me, your mother, Dan, or even that poor Mr. Canton. And maybe felt at least some remorse. But I guess I was dreaming. All you do is keep chasing castles in the sky and ignore those who care about you.
I get why you're mad. Do you think I'm not mad at myself?
Well, I hope so.
But there's nothing I can do now to change what happened. It's over, Olivia. All I have now is the woman in the painting.
Oh, Kate, I should have known. And I should never have asked you to call me. Goodbye, Kate. I hope you find whatever it is you've been looking for these past 3 years. One thing's for sure, though. You wanted to be alone, and that's how you're gonna stay.
Okay, let's go, kiddo. Another day, another page. A new day in Vagen. I must take the tram to that music academy where Dana Rose was a student in the 1930s. With a bit of luck, they'll have kept her records. Demoiselle Lenny told me the music academy is near the musical square. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me more.
Ah, hello, Miss Walker. Ah, Miss Walker, did you sleep all right?
Fine, thanks.
Now, is there anything you need?
I'd like to go to the music academy. Can you tell me how to get there?
You just need to take the tram northbound to the musical square.
Is there anything I should know about the academy?
To tell the truth, it's a little glum nowadays. Especially when you think it was once the jewel of the town, where students came from all over the world to perform on the musical square, you know. Pity. It's since lost its panache of old through lack of students and means.
I went to the Silberspiegel Refuge yesterday. Oh, magnificent.
I won't disagree with that, Miss Walker. Those mountains are the pride of the town, just like old Lenny.
Lenny is highly respected in Vaughan because she was a resistance fighter during World War II, right? Well, I heard about it when I was at the refuge.
Lenny Renner might be a grumpy old spinster, but to us she's still a heroine. Pity the same can't be said of her father, though. Still, everyone has their cross to bear, as they say.
What do you mean?
No point gossip-mongering. The war was a dark time in Vaughan for everyone, see? Best not stir up old memories.
Everything seems to link the person I'm looking for with the Second World War and the rise of the Brown Shadow.
Terrible times were those, my dear. Especially when Vaughan was occupied after the annexation of Ostertal. Thank God I was born just after the liberation.
I see. But I guess you had to grow up with the after effects of those events.
Oh yes, dear. There was a kind of conspiracy of silence where everyone suspected each other, even their close friends. Did any of them collaborate with the enemy? And if so, was it through like-mindedness or simple cowardice? Were they responsible in one way or another for the arrest or death of a family member?
It must have been awful.
A terrible time, really.
Well, the person I'm looking for is from the same generation.
You'll just have to hope she managed to survive the madness then.
Well, I guess I should get going. Thank you for your time, Frau Wagner.
Feel free to ask if you have any more questions.
Oh dear. Help! Help! Someone! Help! Put me down!
Oscar? Bet you can't catch it! Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now!
Alright then.
Oscar! Are you alright?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar. Oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker. I do hope you don't plan such profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a second, Oscar. This might take a while. And that's when Demoiselle Lenny gave me the address of the Music Academy in this neighborhood.
I see, Kate Walker.
You must think I'm crazy, huh? Running after that girl, Dana, who must have died ages ago.
Well, Kate Walker, you know I have difficulty understanding illogical thought patterns. But in the end, what I do understand is that you need to find her. Is that correct, Kate Walker?
Yes, that is correct, Oscar. I'm glad you're taking it so well.
I don't see any fundamental difference between crossing Europe in search of mammoths, travelling on ostriches in an irradiated zone, or following your double. These are not things an automaton such as I take into consideration.
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could ask you where we are heading, but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead, and for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Anyway, we'd better get going, Oscar, and you'd better keep out of sight.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
I'm so glad he's back.
Is there anything that requires my assistance? I'm counting on you to transplant my mechanical heart as soon as we come across an XZ2000 automaton. Would you mind using a bigger bag in the future? It's all very humiliating for a sophisticated automaton like myself, you know. How is your research going, Kate Walker? Kate Walker? Yes, Kate Walker? Is everything all right, Kate Walker? Is there anything that requires my assistance? Yes, Kate Walker? Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry, Oscar, but I don't want to run the risk of losing you again. Victims of the genocide committed by the fascists during the Second World War. Oh, so many deaths. I hope Dana made it through. That brand was everywhere in New York when I left. And now they've even got branches here. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. What can I do for you?
Do you know anything about the Wagen Music Academy?
It's the large building across the square there. Used to be quite renowned worldwide, actually.
But not anymore?
Well, from what I gather, hardly anyone studies there nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised if it were closed.
Well, what happened?
Budget cuts from the town council, I guess. The academy can't be very lucrative.
I see. How come the square is so well known?
Because of the mechanical orchestra there. It used to be quite the attraction. Every year, the academy's best student would play along with it, as did renowned musicians from around the world.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. Is it scheduled to play today?
I'm afraid not. Several years back, the town council discussed computerizing it. But the plan never went through, and no one has ever heard its music since.
There are a lot of tourists on the square.
Indeed. It attracts thousands of customers every year. A veritable boon for us retail shops.
And for the people of the town, too?
I wouldn't know about that. I live on the outskirts, as do most of the people. What with the rents being as high as they are here, you know?
Thank you. I should go now.
Auf Wiedersehen, Fräulein. Come back again.
Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing. I don't think I'll be able to open it directly. I can't open it like this. It looks like it's been mechanically sealed. Strange. I only know Dana as a waitress at the refuge, and yet everything seems to fit with her here. Not hard to imagine her coming here to the music academy to study. And who knows, maybe Leon waited for her outside one day as a surprise after returning from his Baltayar expedition. All these letters. They look like letters of formal notice. They probably haven't been paying the bills for some time. So that's the famous Vaughan Music Academy? It's not what I was expecting. It looks like the rector is desperate to reduce the costs of running the academy.
Guten Tag!
What now? If you're from the council, you can come back when I'm not so busy.
Oh, sorry, you startled me.
So, now what do you want, council minion?
I'm not from the council. I'm just a visitor here. I came because I was hoping to look at the file of a student from the 1930s.
Oh. I'm sorry, It's just that I haven't time for digging up old files from 70 years ago. I have way too much to do here, you understand.
I can tell you're a little overwhelmed. Where's the rest of the staff? Or maybe a student could show me.
You are standing in front of the rector, and the only employee of this academy. My name is Maximilian Mahler, and it falls upon me to manage everything on the premises. The maintenance, the archiving, and the lot before we close next month. So, if you don't mind...
I'm very sorry to hear that the academy is closing, and I can see you're extremely busy, but I've come such a long way to see it. I'd be so grateful if you could locate it. It's really important to me.
And so is this place important to me, too. And I would love to hear the mechanical orchestra play one last time before the academy closes. But, alas, I can't, can I? Unless...
Unless what?
Well, you know.
—
All right, then. So if I get the mechanical orchestra going, you'll get me that file, right?
Oh, of course, Fraulein. Of course.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Believe it or not, I have seen mechanisms like the one on the square before.
Well, in that case, I promise to give you the file in return for your services.
Thanks.
But I must warn you that the square has undergone some transformations over the years, and some parts of the mechanism may be difficult to get to.
Don't worry, I'll make myself thin and slide between the cracks.
You'll find some of them scattered around the square, and some of the others you'll find in the clock tower. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second.
What are you...
Now, what is the name of that student you're interested in?
Rose. Dana Rose.
And what were the years she attended our illustrious academy?
In the 30s. 1937, to be precise.
Oh, and here it is. And here you will find the annual inspection reports of the mechanisms by Frau Beckmann.
Frau Beckmann?
She was the rectoress of the academy during the years you spoke of. These are from 1937. You see, I have a marvellous memory regarding archives. This is why I have chosen Frau Beckmann's, because there's something in here regarding that Edna Droz you spoke of.
Dana Rose.
Quite. You will also find some sheet music with annotations. This is the Hymn of Wagen, which you must play on the piano on the square in order to activate the Orchestra of Automations. Once you have fixed the mechanisms, of course. All right then, here you go. What are you waiting for?
This sheet music corresponds to the piano part for the Hymn of Wagen. Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to. Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to. I wonder what it's supposed to represent. The report that the rectoress of the academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. The report that the rectoress of the academy filled in... Music Academy Inspection Report, October 12, 1937.
Today, I was due to inspect the musical mechanisms that enable students to give a public display of their talent and enable us to showcase the quality of our teaching to the people of our beautiful town. Like every year, I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection. And this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off colour, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Yunta.
Is everything all right? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
Thank you for asking, Frau Beckmann, but I'm just a little tired, that's all.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Rose. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though.
Hello!
The maintenance room of the Academy. Frau Beckmann forbids us from entering.
Come and see, Fraulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you. I'd be delighted.
Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fraulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the Hymnwagen played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Borelberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Wagen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire, so he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Wagner's most famous musician at the beginning of the century. But her legend was truly born the night she performed a cello concerto right here on the square. It was also the night of the worst fire in Wagner's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did. As well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Wagner's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Vera Schönberg. Was there something else, Fräulein Rose?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fräulein.
According to Frau Beckmann, it opens the maintenance room just next to the clock tower.
Looks like the rector was right, Oscar. I should be able to find the mechanisms he wants me to repair by following the circuit Dana described in the report.
They would still need to be accessible to us today, Kate Walker.
Glad to see you haven't lost any of your legendary optimism, my dear Oscar. Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing. I don't believe it. Because of that van, I can't get to the mechanism. I'll have to find a way to move it. Looks locked. I can't go in. Looks like they've tried to blend all these new shops into the original facades. Doesn't make it any less a tourist trap, though. An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Bogstadt.
A part of the mechanism was damaged, but I changed it. You can tell Frau Beckmann everything's in order now.
What is this? What is this? Wow, I would hate to be the one who must tune this. This looks complex. It's locked.
Hey, careful what you're doing here, right? Don't go and injure yourself or damage any of the material.
The spare parts for the automatons on the square.
I just come down from the tower. You can tell Frau Beckmann everything's in order up there. The mechanism's in perfect condition.
According to what the maintenance guy told Dana, there should be an access to the clock tower somewhere in the room.
Everything's fine upstairs. No need to return.
That elevator Dana tried to take, it leads to the clock tower. We need to find it, Oscar. Looks locked. I can't go in. That brand was everywhere in New York when I left. According to the report, we can access the clock tower mechanism through this building, in what today must be the back room.
There is every indication that it is forbidden to the public, Kate Walker.
Come on, Kate, gotta think out of the box.
Ah, Fräulein. So, anything else I can help you with?
Well, I need to get to the back room of the shop.
This shop?
Yes, if you don't...
I'm sorry, but it's strictly forbidden to the public. Besides, why would anyone want to go back there?
Well, it seems that the back room has the only access to the clock tower, which is where I need to get.
I'm sorry, but it's against company rules. I can't allow it, Fräulein.
Okay, thanks anyway. Okay, I need to find another way in. I should be able to get through it, if I can reach it. Good. Now I just have to find the elevator to the clock tower.
Must I remind you that we are here illegally, Kate Walker? The employee will be very surprised to see you coming out of his back room.
According to the report, the elevator should be behind there. Let's hope it hasn't been walled up since. There. Okay. Just need to clear the passageway. I can't run the risk of missing something important by leaving now. They're still magnificent, in spite of their age. I wonder how long it's been since they were activated. to the engine. Now I should open those large doors. I should be able to unlock the doors with that mechanism.
You seem to be on the right track to successfully completing the service the Rector asked of you.
Thanks, Oscar. But I still have to find the other mechanisms. Looks like spare parts for automatons.
I was lucky there was only one part needed changing in this mechanism.
I need to find the owner.
Wagner Baufirma, Dietrich. Guten Tag.
Hello, excuse me, but your van's parked on the square and it's blocking the way. Would you mind moving it?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm with a client nearby. I'll move it right away.
Thank you. The report that the rectoress of the academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. I wonder what it's supposed to represent. Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to.
If only it could be as quick every year. I was lucky there was only one part needed changing in this mechanism. If only it could be as quick every year.
Wow, I would hate to be the one who must tune this. This looks complex. What is this?
There's no air flowing through. I must have missed something. It's locked. Something's wrong.
No. That doesn't work. Wrong one.
I doubt.
Must have got it wrong.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Done. Let's see what's next. Half done. Let's see what's next. Given the condition of that door, it should give way if I force it a bit.
Impossible, Kate Walker. Such an act is illegal.
Let's just hope that no police come by here. Looks like a part is missing.
No,
No.
Better try something else.
The connection between this mechanism and the other ones on the square seems to be operational. Three working now. One more to go.
So you're the one Frau Beckman sent, are you? Well, you can tell her there's no problem with this automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.
The maintenance man said it was functional. I shouldn't touch it. It seems perfectly functional.
You can tell, Frau Beckman, this automaton still works correctly, but it's so filthy that it won't last long. It's going to take me the whole day to give it a good clean if it's to get past winter.
I should go back and see Frau Beckman. I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if he were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltea with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper. And I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay.
hard to fall to me.
Okay, I think this is the last one.
That's right, Kate Walker. You have to go back and activate the piano on the square like the rector asked you.